أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما
Hadith number 105. وعن سلمة رضي الله تعالى عنها قالت قلت يا رسول الله إني امرأة أشد شعر رأسي أفأنقضه لغسل الجنابة وفي رواية للحيضة فقال لا إنما يكفيك أن تحثي على رأسك 3 حثيات رواه مسلم. Hadith number 105. The Prophet ﷺ was asked a question by Salama radiallahu ta'ala anha, that I am a female who has these plaits in my hair. Do I require opening these plaits when I am taking a ghusl of janaba? And what about a ghusl for haid after menstruation? Prophet ﷺ told her, لا إنما يكفيك أن تحثي على رأسك 3 حثيات. That no, it's not a requirement, it's not incumbent upon you. It might be rather tiresome for you that you open up all these knots and all these plaits on your hair. It is enough that you leave the plaits, but you make sure that the water reaches the roots of your hair. As the Prophet ﷺ advised her, that you pour over this hair 3 scoops of water. You make sure that the water reaches the roots of the hair, and that is the most important matter with regards to hair. And that is the issue with regards to the female who has long plaits. Is it a requirement that this hair, which might be on her shoulders, that it is also wet in her ghusl? The answer is no. It does not have to be wet in her ghusl. Let's say, for argument's sake, the female wraps up the hair which is on her shoulders with some sort of covering, but she makes sure that water reaches the roots of her hair. Would her ghusl be accepted? The answer is yes. Her ghusl would be accepted as long as water reached the roots of the hair. Hadith number 106. وعن عائشة رضي الله تعالى عنها قالت قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إني لا أحل المسجد لحائض ولا جنب. Upon the authority of Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she says that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, I do not allow the female who is in the state of menstruation and the male or female who are in the state of janaba to enter the masjid, to sit in the masjid. These two are not allowed to be in the masjid. The female in the state of menstruation and the male or female in the state of janaba. This hadith, the scholars have differed past and present with regards to its authenticity. From amongst those scholars who stated that it was authentic or hasan, they were Ibn Khuzaymah rahimahullah, Ibn Hajar, the author of this book, Sheikh Ibn Baz, Imam Az-Zayla'i, Shawkani rahimahullah. They all stated that it was either hasan or sahih. As for those who said that it was da'if, then they are Ibn Hazm rahimahullah. He even went further. Ibn Hazm, the Zahiri scholar, and he stated that this hadith was batil. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah was also of the opinion that it was da'if. Imam al-Bayhaqi and many other scholars. So based upon the authenticity or the weakness of this hadith, the scholars have divided whether it would be permissible for the female in the state of menstruation, male or female in the state of janaba, to enter and sit in the masjid. They have divided into 3 opinions. The first opinion, totally not allowed for them to enter the masjid. What's the proof? The proof is this hadith. They based it upon the fact that this hadith was acceptable or authentic, so it would not be permissible for the above to enter the masjid and sit in the masjid. And this is the opinion of the majority scholars. Number 2, totally permissible for any one of them to enter the masjid. Proof? There's no proof to prohibit them. This hadith is weak, so we don't have any clear, explicit proof to prevent the above from entering the masjid. And that was the opinion of the Zahiri scholars. And other scholars, like Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal and some of the opinions of the Hanbali madhab, that it would be permissible for the male or female in the state of janaba, if they had taken a wudu, for them to enter the masjid. As for the female in the state of menstruation, she is not allowed at all. But the male or female in the state of janaba, if they had taken a wudu, they could enter the masjid. Proof for this was the practice of many of the Sahaba, that they would be in a state of janaba, take a wudu, and then sit in the masjid. These are the three opinions of the scholars, and based upon the authenticity or the weakness of this hadith, they differed on this mas'ala. Many contemporary scholars state that if there is a haja, because this hadith, there's a lot of kalam, some say it's authentic, some say it's not. Based upon this fact that everybody is not united upon its authenticity, many contemporary scholars have said that if there is haja, if there is need for this female to enter the masjid while in the state of menstruation, it would be permissible. And they added to the argument the fact that what is the illah, what is the reason prohibiting the female from entering the masjid while in the state of menstruation? If it is that there is a chance that the masjid might be soiled, that the masjid might fall upon the carpet of the masjid, some blood of menstruation, some filth. So they said, if this is the reason, then if the female takes proper precautions and she makes sure that there is not going to be any soiling of the masjid, if that is the hikmah, if that is the reason, then it would be permissible, or in cases of need, for this female to enter the masjid. And also they based it upon the fact that the Sharia has granted many concessions to the female in the state of menstruation. For example, with regards to Eid Salah, she is also recommended for her to come out to the Musalla of Eid and witness the khair and the barakah that the Muslim engage themselves on the day of Eid. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Hadith number 107. وعنها رضي الله تعالى عنها قالت كنت أغتسل أنا ورسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من إناء واحد تختلف أيدينا فيه من الجنابة متفق عليه وزاد ابن حبان وتلتقي. This hadith narrated by Imam al-Bukhari and Imam Muslim, subhanallah, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha would take a bath together while they were both in the state of janaba, and each one would have turns to take out water, to scoop out water from the utensil. This hadith number 1 shows us that it's permissible for husband and wife to take a bath together. Prophet ﷺ and his wife had taken this bath together. It also shows us that it is permissible for the husband and wife to look at the awrah, to look at the private areas of one another. And this shows us clear permissibility, this hadith recorded by Imam al-Bukhari and Imam Muslim. As for those weak or fabricated ahadith which state that the one who looks at the private areas of the spouse, then this person would be weakened in his eyesight, or he might lose his eyesight, or that Aisha radiallahu anha said that supposedly she had never ever seen the private areas of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's no basis for those ahadith. And as a scholar replied with regards to that question, he said, maybe that's the reason that we all wear glasses today. Maybe we are looking a bit too much. Allahu ta'ala a'lam. Ala kulli hal, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam in authentic ahadith stated, لا ينظر رجل إلى عورة رجل ولا المرأة إلى عورة المرأة. Not permissible for any male to look at the aura of the other male, and not permissible for a female to look at the aura of another female. But between husband and wife, as in this hadith, it would be permissible, insha'Allah. The last hadith in this chapter, hadith number 108. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن تحت كل شعرة جنابة فاغسلوا الشعر وانقوا البشر. Hadith number 108 is a weak hadith, but the meaning is correct. Many a times you would hear the statement that the hadith is da'if, it is weak, but the meaning behind the hadith is correct. What does this mean? It means that the meaning, or what we gauge and what information we can attain from this hadith, is totally correct. But we cannot attribute this hadith to the Prophet ﷺ. You might be familiar with the supposed hadith, seek knowledge even if it be to China. Is that a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ? Can we be assured that it is his statement? The answer is no. It is weak, or it is fabricated. But is the meaning correct? Yes, the meaning is correct. The Muslim is somebody who seeks knowledge, even if it be China, even if it's further than China, America, Japan, wherever it might be. He goes wherever the knowledge is and he seeks that knowledge. So the meaning behind the hadith is correct, but the hadith, through its isnad or chain of narration, is a weak hadith. And here also, supposedly the Prophet ﷺ said that under every hair there is janaba, so make utterly sure that you wash every single hair and you remove this janaba from your body. Then only would you be released from the state of janaba. And with that, we have concluded chapter number 8, the chapter dealing with this state of janaba, the chapter dealing with ghusl and the ahkam and rulings and regulations associated with it. We saw in the hadith of Abu Hurairah that if there is penetration between husband and wife, then ghusl is wajib upon both of them. Although there might not have been ejaculation, although there was no ejaculation or cum, there still is the obligation of ghusl upon both of them. It is not like at the beginning of Islam that only if there was ejaculation, only then would you be required to take a ghusl. We also went through the manner of the Prophet ﷺ's ghusl. He would say Bismillah, wash his hands, wash his private organs with his left hand, take a complete wudu, gargling the mouth, washing the nasal passages, washing the head completely, pouring water over the entire body, beginning with the right hand side. That is the complete ghusl of the Prophet ﷺ. We spoke about anyone in the state of janaba or the female in the state of menstruation entering the masjid. According to majority of the scholars, this is not permitted. Other contemporary scholars, past and present, have stated if there is haja, if there is need, then it would be permissible for her to enter the masjid bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We also lastly dealt with the matter of taking a ghusl on Friday. Majority of the scholars are of the opinion that it is mustahab, it is a stressed sunnah. The literalist scholars were of the opinion that it was fard, it was wajib. Shaykh al-Uthaymeen rahimahullah said that from the day that he had read that hadith, not a single Jum'ah would pass except that he would practice upon it and take a ghusl. We will meet next week bi'idhnillahi ta'ala with chapter number 9, dealing with the issues regards to tayammum bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.